Hey, welcome back to the YouTube channel for the Renaissance English History Podcast. I am your host, Heather. I've been podcasting on Tudor England since 2009 with my show, making it the original Tudor History Podcast. Today, we are going to talk about the festivities of Christmas that came after Christmas. So, living in the US, we do a lot of Christmas prep before Christmas. And then I have so many friends that, they started taking their decorations down on December 26th. And it's like, it's just starting. Why are we taking our decorations down? And I've always kind of thought that intuitively. But then when we lived in Spain, they keep the 12 days there. Kids are out of school until January 7th. And, it was really magical. And I just saw how wonderful it was. I just can't even tell you how magical it was to have a whole country that was still celebrating Christmas on January 4th and January 5th. And in fact, I remember once looking at Amazon on January 4th and the Amazon in Spain, Amazon.es, and it still had like all of these last minute holiday gifts and everything like that. Meanwhile, looking at the Target website was all full of like after Christmas sales. And it was just really nice. And since we moved back, I try to keep the 12 days going here, and make it a thing to keep all 12 days of Christmas. But it's a little harder because people go back to school, kids go back to school. And it's like when you're swimming in the water of like Christmas is over, you really have to work to like insulate yourself from that on January 2nd and January 3rd and be like, no, Christmas is still going on. So today we are going to talk about the celebrations that the Tudors had during the 12 days. And I have been dropping more Advent Christmas Christmas sprinkles in here because I have a program that is launching called Yuletide with the Tudors. And it's starts December 1st, goes to January 6th on Tudor Christmas holiday customs and traditions, history, stories, just recipes, all the different ways that the Tudors celebrated Christmas. It's daily video content delivered directly to your inbox through a beautiful Advent calendar. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that at the end of the video. But let's get into it right now. Hey, if you would like to see more Tudor content in your YouTube feed, why not go ahead and click subscribe so you never miss a video that we put out. All right. If you think that Christmas Day is the grand finale, no, my friend. Christmas Day is just the beginning, especially for the Tudors. The Tudors celebrated nearly 2 weeks of festivities after Christmas, each day packed with unique traditions. From charity and feasting to games and rituals, the post-Christmas season offered new chances to gather, to give, and to celebrate. So we are going to take a look at how the Tudors marked these days beyond Christmas. So let's start with December 26th. On December 26th, Tudor England observed St. Stephen's Day, or what we now know as Boxing Day. This day focused on charity, on generosity, with wealthy households giving alms or small tokens to people in need. It was a day to remember St. Stephen, who was the first Christian martyr, who was known for his care of the poor. Nobles and landowners would often hand out food, coins, or other essentials, emphasizing community and support for the less fortunate. Today, Boxing Day still holds the spirit of post-Christmas gift-giving, but for the Tudors, it was deeply intertwined with social responsibility, social hierarchy. We did a video a couple weeks ago on how the Tudors saw civic responsibility and civic duty. And, there was this whole social responsibility for the upper classes, and this fits right into that. This was a day when the highest-ranking members of society extended their hand to help others. December 27th brought the feast of St. John the Evangelist, which was a day marked by quieter, more intimate gatherings compared to the Christmas feast. Families came together to share smaller meals and exchange blessings and observe the holiday with a more religious focus. The feast honored St. John, who was known for his writings on love and faith. As part of the celebration, many Tudor households enjoyed a warm, spiced drink called St. John's Love, which is a mulled wine or ale that added a cozy, comforting touch to the day. People still drink it. If you look at like Catholic websites, there's still recipes to make St. John's Love. Maybe you drink it. I would like to know. If you do, leave me a comment and let me know what that's like. I mean, I guess I know what it's like, but I would like to know if you drink it. It was unlike the grand spectacles of Christmas and Twelfth Night. St. John's Day was a simple, reflective day, a moment to recharge during the very long holiday season. For the Tudors, New Year's Day was a major event in the holiday season, marked by one of their favorite traditions, gift giving. Gifts were exchanged on January 1st among family and friends, and especially within the royal court. For Henry VIII and his court, these were not casual exchanges. Gifts needed to be thoughtful, valuable, and ideally impressive. Each New Year, members of the court, nobility, and even close friends of the king presented elaborate tokens, jewels, fine clothing, even custom-crafted armor. The gifting tradition extended from the highest noble to the humblest servant, and a failure to give an impressive gift could reflect poorly on the giver. It was a day for showing loyalty and making connections that could last through the rest of the year. Tudor New Year gifting was more than items exchanged. It reflected your social standing, the favor you had at court, and the very intricate web of relationships within the court. If you were somebody higher ranking and somebody lower ranking gave you a gift, your gift had to be more. There was like a whole etiquette around it that was very, very important. This tradition gave New Year's a special, almost strategic significance in Tudor England. Twelfth Night on January 5th was the high point of the holiday season. This marked the end of the Christmas celebrations, one of the most lavish feasts of the year. Twelfth Night revelry included games and music and feasting, with the Lord of Misrule presiding over the chaos. We talked about the Lord of Misrule in a video last week, when the social order got turned on its head for a night of controlled mischief, shall we say. Servants and nobility alike joined in with costumes and masks, creating an atmosphere of fun and freedom. Twelfth Night also featured special foods, including a king's cake that held a hidden bean or coin. Whoever found the bean in their slice would be crowned king or queen of the feast, a playful way to bring everybody into the celebration. When we lived in Spain, they still sell in Spain king's rings, although they sell it on January 5th, so you eat it on the 6th, I suppose. We always ate ours on the 6th, but we didn't always know what we were doing either. But it's cool because there were beans baked into the rings as well. And of course, if you got the bean, then it was supposedly good luck for the rest of the year. So that even lives on today in many countries. The night's festivities ended at midnight on January 6th, Epiphany, which was a day reserved for religious reflection to close the holiday on a solemn, meaningful note. Of course, Epiphany, King's Day, marks when the three kings arrived to the manger and recognized Jesus and gave their gifts. So it was a day of really somber reflection and, thinking about the light that had come back into the world in this season of darkness, I suppose. It was so cool in Spain. I really miss it. I've got to go back to spend Christmas in Spain again soon. There would be a parade on January 5th. And, they would still be playing Christmas music. All the local school bands and stuff would go down the main street and play their Christmas songs. They'd throw out candy. There'd be floats. And they would just throw out so much candy, so much candy. I've known this scramble for candy, and, these narrow little lanes. And the kings would arrive on the floats. Each king had their own float, would be throwing out candy. And the kids would all scramble for the candy afterwards. And after each float went by, and, then you'd go to the kings would hold court at a church close by, and you would go and sit on a king's lap and get each kid would get a little gift. And they weren't just like candy canes, like they were like nice gifts. I guess they were donated by places, but anyway, it was like super cool. And then the 6th was when you had your dinner, and that was when most of the kids would have gotten their gifts and everything like that. So that is my story of Christmas in Spain. It's really cool. And it was really meaningful to keep the 12 days the way a Tudor would. And like I said, I try to do that. It's tricky. It's tricky in the US. Really just got to go back to Spain for Christmas. So anyway, the Tudor holiday season was about so much more than Christmas Day. Nearly 2 weeks of traditions, feasting, and community filled their calendar, bringing warmth and connection to the darkest days of winter. So if you want to dive deeper into Christmas traditions and spend the period from December 1st to January 6th really digging in to Christmas and Advent celebrations the way the Tudors would have had it, check out my Yuletide with the Tudors program. There's a link up here. It's, like I said, the full December 1st to January 6th with a beautiful advent calendar. Every day opens up to a new window with a video like this, but goes into more depth on different aspects of Christmas traditions, stories, what Henry VIII's Christmas was like, particular years, things like that. So it's $29 for the whole thing. I am going to put a coupon code because there's an early bird discount. So I'm going to put that in the comment. You can check that out. And we also have a community where people are going to be sharing their own Christmas things. And then we have a live call on December 14th with the fabulous Brigitte Webster. She's a food historian who lives in a Tudor home and does keep the Tudor Christmas as well. So she's going to walk us through her Tudor Christmas traditions and give us some ideas for celebrations ourselves. So it's going to be so much fun. You know, the holidays can be such a crazy time, and to be able to just kind of have a moment every day to just dig into something you love and explore some history, and that's what it is for me. So I hope it can be that for you as well. So yeah, check it out, and hopefully I'll see you in there. All right, my friend. Thank you so much for watching. If you got to the end of this video and you enjoyed it, I sure would appreciate a press of that like button. It helps feed the algorithm and get our content to even more people. If you want to keep binging Tudor content, here's a video on Tudor Christmas traditions that you can watch, or here's a video YouTube thinks you will enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. You are deeply loved. I'm so glad I share the planet with you. Don't forget to drink your water. I will be back soon.